Okay, so what's my favorite meal? Well, I've had a few of them, so it's a hard thing to choose from. But my favorite meal is a filet mignon at Sullivan's Steakhouse in Indianapolis with my wife. Now, why is that my favorite meal? Well, first of all, because the product is fantastic. The steak is delicious. The preparation of the food is wonderful. They fix it exactly the way I desire it, which is an important lesson for customer service, is that giving it to the customer the way the customer wants it is really, really important. But it's not just the product, it's also the fact that they are so great to us at Sullivan. See, the service is amazing as well. They know us, they take care of us. So one of the things I've learned about my favorite meal is it's not just what you're eating, it's where you're eating it and how you're treated. Exactly like your business. The product is important, but the service is critical too. That's why a filet at Sullivan's is my favorite meal.
Folks, I'm an Oklahoma redneck. It's easy for me to pick my favorite meal. In fact, if I get to pick the meal I'm going to have, my very last meal, this would be it. I'd pick this meal darn near every day, though. I want a chicken fried steak. I want it so good and so big that it hangs off over the edges of a big old platter. I want a big pile of mashed potatoes, then I want you to cover it all with cream gravy. I want a side of fried okra and a saucer full of sliced tomatoes with salt and pepper, the tomatoes that are about that big. My grandpa used to call them big boys. That's a brand of tomato that we grew in Oklahoma. You give me all that with a big old tall glass of iced tea, and I am a happy man. I love lots of the fancy stuff, and I love a good steak and good barbecue, but every time you can give me a chicken fried steak.
Hey everybody, it's Joe Calloway coming to you from a hotel that is definitely not a Ritz-Carlton. The question is, what's my favorite meal? There's no contest for me. It was probably 25 years ago in Rome, Italy, my favorite city in the world, with my wife Annette. We had room service at the Hostler Hotel. My gosh, I am tearing up just remembering that meal. Here's the thing. We were in this fabulous hotel. The doors, balcony doors were open, and we were overlooking the Spanish Steps. And the meal itself, I don't even remember what it was, but it was so incredibly good, and the wine was great. You know, here's the lesson for me. It's not just the food, it's who you're with, it's where you are, it's the whole vibe. Second favorite would be B&B Ristorante in Las Vegas. Thank you, Larry Winget, for the tip on that one. Hope you all have a good meal soon. Maybe you're having one right now. Good for you. Have fun. Bye.
Hi, Randy Pennington here. And coming up with one single favorite meal is almost impossible. I've had wonderful food all over the world, and my wife is an amazing cook, so I'm used to great food. But here's the thing. My favorite meals are always about more than the food. And what sets them apart is who I was with and the sharing of that experience with them. For instance, the food at Flora Street Cafe in Dallas, Texas is as good as it gets. But being there with the entire Five Friends gang, plus our buddy John, made it memorable. And the food doesn't really have to be that exotic. One of the favorite meals I've had in my life was at a relatively cheap Italian place. It was on the first date with my wife. Remember, great meals are about way more than the food. Bon appetit, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, it's Mark Sanborn here at the White Chocolate Grill in Lone Tree, Colorado, one of my favorite restaurants in Metro Denver. Bring my family here a lot. We know the staff, love the service, think the food and the drink are terrific. One of my favorite meals and one of my favorite drinks, well, let's start with the drink. It's a Sazerac, not made with cognac, which is the original way Sazeracs were made in New Orleans. Later, they switched to Sazerac whiskey, and that's how I drink them today. But I just ordered the dancing crab cakes. I love seafood, and the crab cakes here are extraordinary. It may not be my all-time favorite meal and favorite drink combination, but it's pretty close. So here's to you. Cheers.